Hello, everyone. It's our Tuesday group healing call, and it is going to be a powerful one. Why? Well, I didn't realize this, but tonight just happens to land on the harvest moon. And if anyone's gone outside and they're in this area, you're going to see a beautiful, powerful moon. And for those of you who are sensitive, you can feel it. Some people are actually feeling a bit antsy for the last few days as the energy's been increasing more powerfully. It was brought to my attention, because I don't always follow these things. I do feel sensitive to it, and I know something's happening. And then someone will say, "Hey, Brenda, did you hear this?" And it's also coinciding with it's a partial lunar eclipse. And you might not see that, but it intensifies the energy. So we have that fall equinox happening. We have this harvest moon. There's a lot of changes. Now, with that being said, how many times have I sat in this chair? I do this weekly. And said, wow, guys, feel that energy. It's coming from somewhere, whether it's a solar flare or we had that big total eclipse. And it's endless energy supporting humanity's shift. There's shift happening. And for those of you who are working on yourselves, you know exactly what I'm saying. Sometimes it seems like our old wounds are magnified. Our old hurts, our traumas are magnified. They are coming to the surface for healing. So we want to take this added energy. We want to take what we're going through. We want to look at what we've been through for this last year. Acknowledge it, appreciate it, and allow for more growth. Bring it to the surface. And then celebrate those wins, because I know we all have some really beautiful wins happening. And sometimes we feel like we're not making any progress. You're making huge progress. Deep breaths, everyone. Deep breaths, allowing that energy to flow through you tonight. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I have this old wound coming up. I had a car accident 30 years ago and my knee is killing me. And other people will be talking about their exes. Oh, my ex-husband used to do this. I'm like, what's up with all that? Why are you talking about that person? But you know what it is? It's that it's coming to the surface for healing. I actually was talking about some old stories that my ex did in the past or somebody did to me. I'm like, why am I thinking about this? It's because it's coming to the surface for release. So allow it. Don't suppress it back. Do not suppress it back, because all that suppressed energy is actually coming up for healing. Allow it to come in. Don't dwell over it. Is there a science to this? Not really a science, but you don't want to repress. You want to acknowledge, allow it to heal. But then again, you don't want to stay in it and dwelling over the past either. So you want to stay in the now, allow it to happen, be in that present moment, allow those uncomfortable feelings to come up. Sometimes they're emotional and you feel like a good cry. Sometimes it's physical pain. You might feel there's the anxiety and there's the stress and that uncomfortable feeling. But some people can actually feel physical pain in their chest, an achy feeling throughout their body. Their knees are hurting. They feel like they want to throw up. That's that energy leaving your system. And you don't have to retrace it. You don't have to go, oh, I remember when this happened. Because when we go back to those old memories, we're actually going back to that lower vibration. The beautiful thing of energy work or releasing this way is we don't have to remember everything. We don't have to decide what's it from, or you just have to acknowledge, I feel this crap coming up. I kind of have a general idea what it is. I don't want to revisit it, but I do want to let it go, because I deserve to be free of it. I deserve to forgive myself. I forgive the people that hurt me, because most people who hurt us are either playing a part or it's a subconscious thing and they don't even know they hurt. Have you ever bumped into someone and you are talking about something because they hurt you so badly years before, but they don't remember doing it at all? They've moved on. They didn't even know they hurt you, but you're festering, you're holding it. So here you are, you didn't want to forgive them, but they don't even know what you're talking about, forgive them without even them knowing you're forgiving them. Forgive yourself. Let things go. Because when you hold these grudges, it's like you're drinking poison expecting the other person to die. That energy that's stuck in your system and you're holding that grudge, you're too vengeful to forgive, is hurting you more than that person. And in the scheme of things, when I see this from life from a broader view, I see those people who hurt me as a reflection, as something I needed to learn. Now, it's not always a one-on-one reflection. This can be a little bit complicated. Someone will say, well, you know what? A family member is not doing well in my house. They're sick. They might pass away. How am I creating that? We're not creating that person's, journey out of this planet, transitioning out, but you're in that co-creation. So perhaps you're here to support the rest of the family. Perhaps you're learning how to deal with loss. Perhaps you're learning how to deal with the death experience in a more elevated way, in a way where you can look at it for the beauty of it as this beautiful transition back home. And it's some people say, well, why is this happening in my life? Why is this happening in your life? No one really knows. Like, I can give you my ideas. You're going to know. Your higher self is going to know, because every one of us is so unique. So let's say a bunch of us were in a group and we were experiencing something. And the experience was felt, perceived differently from all of us. We all had a different reason for being in that same situation. So, let's say we're stuck in traffic. Here's an easier one to kind of think about. You're stuck in traffic. Well, all those people stuck in traffic, well, you guys all have the same learning lessons? Absolutely not. Perhaps we're stuck in traffic to avoid someone in that group from getting into a fatal accident. Perhaps we're stuck in traffic to learn patience. Perhaps we're stuck in traffic because you start talking to the person beside you. Now you have a date with that person. I don't know exactly why you're there. You might not know why you're there. But if you look at every experience and say, well, I'm in it, I'm in traffic, I must at least enjoy the traffic. And, kind of self-reflect, check people out, send love. You can make any situation either neutral or positive. It doesn't have to be negative. But when we're dealing with things bubbling up, it can be very uncomfortable. And for instance, I was thinking, well, I was just outside hanging out under the moon, chatting, before this call. And my throat, I don't know if I sound raspy to you guys. I feel like I'm labored to talk. I talk a lot. I get that. But today it seems not painful. I'm not in any pain, but I'm almost like using a lot of energy to take my words out to express. I want to be here. I'm excited to be here. I love this energy. I'm very excited about it. And so it's not the lack of excitement. But I believe I too am releasing yet another layer as we heal layer by layer by layer. How many layers? Nobody knows. But we just continuously heal. And what happens when you are releasing a layer? You release a layer, and that, to me, a layer is a bunch of stuff. It can be thousands of things. Clients will ask me, oh, what's in my layer? I can't even express what's in your layer. I just get a big, it's everything, a little bit of everything. And sometimes we feel what's leaving. Sometimes we don't have an idea what's leaving. It doesn't matter. We don't need to know. We're multidimensional beings. There are past life and future lives. There's in-between states. There are parallel lives. There are ancestral wounds. There's, childhood traumas, moments in time, hexes and curses, cords, negative belief patterns, self-sabotage. We're very multidimensional, and some people will say, oh, there's a sword in my back and this happened. But everything's happening now. So as we're healing, the bottom line is that dense energy is leaving and light is replacing it. If you can just take it to that simplest fact that dense energy leaves, light comes in, what happens? my vibration increases, my frequency increases. I get a better disposition. I feel more peace in my heart. I feel more connected. I can hear my higher self better. How do you feel after a session like this? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel more connected? Do you feel unstoppable, like you can take on the world? I'd be curious. I get a lot of beautiful messages from people, and everybody's experience is so unique to them. So I cannot give a one answer for anyone. Just if I look at the people in the chat, we all are so different. We're all going through our own stuff. Yes, there is a commonality. We're healing. But where you are on your journey, are you suffering emotionally or physically or mentally or spiritually or all of it? Are you having a good day? Are you having a bad day? Do you feel it physically as you're releasing? Do you want to throw up after a session? Do you feel light and just want to clean the house? Do you want to sleep? We're all so different. So when we are healing, be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, be compassionate with yourself, because your journey is unique. It's as unique as you. We all have this beautiful soul signature, and that is who we are, and that's how we are known, per se. And that soul signature is so unique, and you come in with this beautiful Akashic record, what you want to experience, and the themes that we've come to experience are so varied, yet they kind of are, I would say the more general ones are to learn self-love, to have boundaries, to learn not to be judgmental of yourself or others. There's these basic ones, and if anyone's going through that, that healing, they might know what their theme is. But even if you know the theme, there's other like sub themes and things. And sometimes when you're healing yourself, but you're also healing other aspects of your oversoul. So I was telling someone the other day, maybe on a call today, that this past week, I had something bubbling up. And I've gone through a lot. There's been a lot happening in my personal life. Not bad, just part of life, I suppose. But a little challenging to stay up high, but I'm doing pretty good. But then I started going through this healing thing, and it could have been the energy shifting in the universe to start really. And I'm like, this is not mine. I know this is not mine, but I decided to go within and figure out, kind of generally what this is. So I did a session on Brenda. And the way I do that is I actually put a picture of Brenda on the chair. I know it sounds weird, that's me. And I act as an ambassador of the universe to give her a healing. So I'm playing both parts, which isn't the easiest thing to do, but it was just something that was bubbling up and I wanted to release it. As I was going through, what I realized, this wasn't my current life as Brenda Ferrugia. I was healing a life. Now, I'll say it's a past life, but everything's happening now. But I was, I don't know if I should say what it was, but I was a female worker in another country where authority is very tough over there. And I was feeling her pain. I was looking at her hands. I could feel her in the fields. And it felt so personal to me. It's not Brenda Ferrugia. It's an aspect of my oversoul that I've decided to connect to. Because when we come in with these themes, there's all these other lifetimes that you can connect to heal them, because Earth is such a powerful, we're in this powerful energy where we can heal and transpose these traumas. And as you heal yourself, you're rewriting our past, but you also can help other lifetimes. But she's not me. She's an aspect of my oversoul, which I've connected to. So I could feel like she's my past life, but she's actually happening now. And sometimes we are picking up this energy that just feels so uncomfortable, but you just know it's not yours. So I did a healing and I felt her relief and I got the relief. So it was very fascinating. I was like, whoa. These things do happen. Sometimes when I'm working with a client or myself, and probably a lot of you might have these experiences where you just know it's not yours. Sometimes we're healing ancestral trauma. And when we do that, well, we can only imagine how profound that is for your siblings, for your parents, or the parent that's coming through, for your own children, perhaps, So when you heal, you might notice that everyone shifts with you, because sometimes we do heal those ancestral traumas. And sometimes during a session, people will actually say, oh, I feel this isn't mine. I'm feeling this from my ancestors. I'm feeling them all around me. We have come in at this lifetime with a heavy load. I attract light workers, old souls that have come in with a very big to-do list. The to-do list can be exhausting. And people will say, how much more healing do I need? Why do I have to continue with all this healing? You signed up for it. You wanted to be here. You were excited to be here. All right? I now realize I was excited to come. I wanted to do this. I'm doing it. And I'm loving it now. But it wasn't just like a few months ago where I was saying, still, why this? Now when something comes my way, I have the tools to honor it, figure it out, acknowledge it, and let it go. And the uncomfortable feelings that I get are just something I'm used to. So I let them play their course. I don't hold them back. I let them come to the surface. I have my moments. I let them go. I acknowledge and I thank them. And then I reset again. And then what happens? Another layer comes up. So for those of you who join these calls, every Tuesday, we have a layer that creates, our higher self is creating this layer, and it's bringing up many different things. And what happens is it's released. So a lot of us can feel a lot lighter after these calls, and that's probably why you keep coming back. And that's probably why we keep doing them weekly for the last 4 years. When will it end? I'm not sure. It was in 2020 when I made the commitment to continue doing these free calls. I didn't think it would be 2024 September. We're still at it. Can you imagine how many layers we've released, how much we've changed? So why don't we take this harvest moon energy right now, and whether you've been healing for years or just a few weeks, or maybe this is your first time, doesn't matter. Acknowledge how much you've changed, because you are not that same person. As you heal, your history changes. As you heal, your vibration increases. As you heal, you are healing the past and creating a better future for you, for your children. Isn't that beautiful? And for Mother Earth. Think about all that beautiful energy that we have sent this planet. I know after these calls, I'm buzzing. I go outside and I talk to the stars and I ask, okay, how did we do? And I get this beautiful hug from the universe. And that hug isn't just for me. It's for all of us that join, whether you're joining live or on replay. We're included. That's the neat thing about the quantum field. Time doesn't really exist. The fact that we're doing this live or in the future. So if you're watching this harvest moon meditation later, you're still getting the benefit as though you were here in the now. Pretty neat, right? Mind-blowing in a way. I always have a lot of questions, and then I get these really cool answers sometimes, but I cannot articulate them because they don't make sense. So I process them until I can articulate it in a way I can understand. And then, therefore, hopefully other people can understand, because we are in a really, really cool time with timelines converting, I can't say the word. There's a lot of things happening here. But one thing I would like to lay out is something I told a client yesterday, and they were like kind of shocked by it. And I think it's something that we all should know. And we can use that harvest moon, this energy. We can do this any day. It doesn't have to be today, but we do have this extra pull today. Is know that we all have free will. Mother Earth is moving into the fifth density, right? Which is the new earth where compassion, love, joy, all that good stuff is. And we are all welcome to join her. But not every person's going to take that invitation. It's really a personal choice. We have free will. And I know I talk to some people and they say, Brenda, what you do is weird. I can't even imagine not having drama in my life because life would be boring. I don't want to heal that. I'm not ready to look at that. I'm enjoying my life, living in my bubble of my own reality. And I don't resonate with what you do at all. This is where I want to stay. There's nothing wrong with that person's viewpoint. That's their perception. That's their free will. And that is beautiful in itself. A soul's journey is just that, a soul's journey. So if you are working on yourself and you want to jump on that train to the ascension process, there's many trains out there, many realities. Right now we can jump on the ones that are there. But eventually, in the next, 1, 2 years, maybe shorter, they're going to solidify. So whatever track you're on is the track you're on. And this is why so many people are now waking up so they can get out of the fog, reconnect to who they are, and decide what track they want. When you go to the ascension track, you're going to have to let go of judgment, fears, anxiety, worry, separation. You're going to have to find that self-love. But you don't have to be perfect to say, I want the ascension process. That's what I said. I want the highest track. I'm going to the new earth. I know I'm going. But yet I have things still to heal. But you're welcome that, because when you ask to go to that track, when you say yes to the family of light, I would love the new earth where love, joy, and happiness are key. What's going to happen is you're going to just have these beautiful spirit guides, this support, this love, your higher self applauding, saying, okay, and they're going to give you that next step and that next step. And how do they talk to you? They talk to you in passion and inspiration and excitement. Letting go of fear is it doesn't have to be difficult, but the reason I say it's difficult because I was once in it and I remember I had a difficult time. And when I know people are in fear, they're like, but how can I get out of it? But it's so hard to get out of it. It doesn't have to be hard, but there is a general belief that it is hard. And when things feel hard, we create them to be hard. But if you know that you're a magnificent being of light and you're already perfect, and once you say, I want to go home, and what does that mean? It doesn't mean you're going to leave earth and go to heaven. We are going to bring heaven on earth. Isn't that exciting? Have you ever heard the meek shall inherit the earth? What that means is the compassionate ones are going to inherit this earth, because where earth is going is leaving all that trauma, the fighting, the anger, the judgment, the fear, the worry, the scarcity, the lack, all those things that make us uncomfortable, all those things that we don't really want to be a part of. I'm kind of bored of it personally. When we say yes to the ascension process, we're saying yes to a lighter, beautiful earth where compassion is key, where the frequency of love is powerfully everywhere. And then people say, well, that's boring, Brenda. I want duality. We need duality. Yes, we needed duality to get to where we are now. But as our human consciousness has increased so much that we don't really need to play in that field anymore. And if you notice, as your consciousness raises, you actually see darkness more. You see it for what it is. But the neat thing is you are now in a powerful place to say, yes, I have those dark choices. But yes, I have all these beautiful, loving choices. What do I choose? And that choice is yours to make. Nobody can make it for you. If you choose love, if you choose the ascension process, you choose the world of light, and those around you might think you're crazy, don't understand it, don't want anything to do with it, that's their free will. So we just respect it. We can send them love. We can hold the light, be the example. But you can't force your opinions, your perceptions, your way of being on people. You're actually might push them in the opposite direction. And I know when you're dealing with family members or you're dealing with coworkers or people who are really in your life and they're kind of coming at you, take a deep breath and know when they're come at it. Sometimes it's out of their own fear. They don't understand their own separation, the fear of change. Even though this change is beautiful, any change can be scary, right? So it's letting go of the fear layer by layer by layer. So today we'll ask this beautiful energy, these beings of light that are already working on us, allow us to release the fears, that scarcity feeling, that fear of the unknown, the worry of what the future holds, the worry of what people are going to think. Yeah, letting that go is big, right? So it's letting all those things that hold us back from expressing our authentic self. And how many out there? I know I talk to a lot of light workers, a lot of old souls that are very empathic, and that can be anything people want you to be. You can be the best girlfriend, the best wife, the best mom, the best brother, the best sister, the best coworker, the best student, the best whatever. Because you can know what people want and you just blend and do and you're easy peasy. I am very easy peasy, but I now know what my authentic self is and I have boundaries. But every time you change to accommodate someone else, deep in there is always your authentic self. Start to own that authentic self. That's your power. That's who you are. And when you start to become that authentic self in whatever situation you're in, you're going to feel that liveliness in there. Some people say, well, I'm so tired. It's because you're not living authentically. You're not in alignment. It's exhausting when you have to. It's actually harder to be who you're not than to be who you truly are. So, maybe you can ask that powerful harvest moon out there today, saying, thank you so much for what I've gone through this year. I've learned so much, and I'm learning to reclaim my power. And I still have ways to go, but I'm doing okay. I want to be thankful for where I am, and I want to be thankful for the inspirations and the passions that I'm guided to from my higher self. And I'm thank you for all the support. I thank you for all these loving communities. I'm thankful for all this cool information we can find on YouTube. It's phenomenal. Think back, I may be dating myself here, but when we had a TV set that was black and white with no remote control, and you were stuck on one channel, and usually you had to watch what your parents were watching. And I used to, there are some shows, I'm just like, how do they even watch this silliness? But now we have the ability to turn off the TV set and choose what we want to watch. So we don't have to watch the news. Back in the day, my parents had the news all the time. I had to watch it. That was the only thing on. I don't have to watch the news. I can listen to a podcast. I can listen to a book. It's phenomenal. I choose what I allow into my system. And there's so much to choose from. And if it's not this person I like to listen to, it might be this person I like to listen to. I change daily depending on my mood. But I always am very diligent on what I bring in. And I bring in love. And I send out love. So I'm careful about my actions, my words, my thoughts. Positive, 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 positive. And allow that world to show you that reflection. And if it's showing you the same crappy stuff, it's just an echo. Or it's just a test. Don't get upset because that means you haven't changed. Just say, hey, that same person said that same bullshit thing again. And I'm not upset this time. Because I realize I'm not the same version that used to get upset. It's their stuff. And I just learned that I'm different. So I get a check mark, universe. When the universe is testing you, pass those tests. And when you don't, that's okay. Learn from them. Because every time we learn, we get better and better and better. So your journey is your journey. Be that magnificent being of light that you are. Let's allow this universal energy and all this. I'm bubbling up and getting really hot right now. Let it all come in. Let all those old hurts leave as much as we can handle today. We only can heal so much in a layer. So we'll go for a max layer right now, but your higher self is in charge. It's always in charge of these healings. We are blessed. We are surrounded by the love of God.